This chapter was great for a number of reasons, but for me, the ending of it was just the best. Sanji! Sanji! Sanji!
Unsa Pise, chapter 413, a hunter?
And he just... Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and action-packed, and in this particular chapter, Sanji-filled tale of One Piece. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw everything finishing off between Nami and Khalifa, Nami having defeated Khalifa, and then, of course, too, we see that the key, it was actually given to Sniper King and Zoro, and really the end of the chapter was Frankie, of course, knocking Chopper out the window into the water, hoping to, kind of get him to regain his regular form and save him. And then ultimately, the end of the chapter, though, was Zoro basically saying, like, yeah, you don't know who you're fucking with, right? So I love it. That's where things left off, and things actually pick up over here. We go and we get a little bit of a check-in with old Spandam, the spandex condom, and of course him with Nico Robin. They're very close to or approaching the gates of justice, and Robin has basically just said, you know what, fuck you, and she just starts like running away because she starts just taking off in her sexy thigh-high boots and heels. And of course she's still handcuffed with the Sea Prism cuffs. Anyway, he winds up going and you go, Funk Freed, get her! Don't get any vital organs. And he goes and throws the sword, and then it turns into the elephant, with like a sword tusk, and obviously, and you just start to see blood and everything. So obviously, he's still being the dickless moron that we know he is. So we get that quick check-in over there, and kind of builds up my rage meter to about 4, maybe 5,000, and I'm just fucking like. And that's what I think about doing to Spandam, and then I calm back down and I relax, and I'm like, all right, you know what, just a fictional character, it's okay to be rageful and hateful towards him, but gotta get back down, center myself. So the rest of the chapter, though, winds up taking place, and I thought this was cool, because in the last chapter my question was, who do you think is going to face off against who now? And in this chapter, by the end of it, it's a resounding, we know who, right? So Zoro goes, and immediately we've got Zoro, Nami, and Sniper King going and standing, standing 3 across, or 3 wide, against, of course, Kaku the giraffe and Jabra the wolf, which actually is very cool looking, by the way, too. I didn't, I failed to mention that, I think, in previous chapters, but he's actually, I think, one of the coolest looking CP9 members, at least once he's changed into that wolf form. Very, very cool. Prior to that, I was just kind of like, all right, whatever, is okay, I like his little Fu Manchu deal. But anyway, so Kaku and Zoro start going and facing off against each other, right? And this is kind of a battle of the 2 heavyweights, right? And Kaku, of course, loves his giraffe power and tries to do, one of his direct straight line Tempest kick type deals. And Zoro goes and just with all 3 swords, the one in his mouth and the 2 in his hands, goes and blocks it. And you see them going back and forth a little bit. Zoro goes and jumps and goes to slash at that long neck of his and makes a comment while he's doing it. And Kaku goes and is able to actually bend his neck, and he's like, yeah, this form gives me new muscles to be able to contort and move my body in different ways, and he's able to dodge it. And then he goes and he winds up saying that square nose face of his that he's got, or whatever, he can actually go and he can do like a finger pistol, but like nose pistol, right? And it's funny because they keep making all these different comparisons to Usopp and his nose, and at one point Nami even calls him Snoop-Pop, basically like Sniper King and Usopp put together, because she obviously knows, she knows what's going on. And then he says something to the effect of, oh man, yeah, that nose is pretty powerful, maybe even more than mine, because Kaku goes to use this move, and Zoro dodges, but there's like a rock, a boulder, that has like this square hole, just boom, punched right through it. So this thing is like a freaking drill press from hell, And anyway, so that's, so we know that the battle's going to rage on between these two, and that's going to be one of, like, the penultimate battles, Obviously, Luffy and Lucci is going to kind of be the main center stage one, but this is the runner-up, you know what I mean? This one, and obviously, I believe the one that I'm going to describe in just a minute here that's going to be coming up hopefully soon. So anyway, we go and we take the action away from them about halfway through the chapter, and it goes over to Sniper King, and Sniper King goes and, and basically tells Jabra, like, hey, man, get at me, bro. We're gonna have to fight now, I gotta get your key. So Jabra's just like, hey, listen, I respect that. You just want to save your friend, right? And he's like, well, yeah, yeah. he drops the key, he says, here, go ahead and take the key. He says, I have no need, I don't want to kill anybody or whatever, you know. And basically, you know, for about a split second, I was like, well, maybe this dude's just really not that much into it. The Buster calls on its way here, and he's basically just like, it's self-preservation at this point. Like, what the fuck's the point in fighting you? I don't think you're going to like do anything with the key anyway. Let me just go and take care of this and this and that, you know. Anyways, so he goes to do that, and then, you know, he drops it or whatever, and Sniper King goes over to go and pick it up, man, and all of a sudden he just goes, 10-finger pistol, and winds up hitting him with, you know, all 5 claw fingers that he has on each thing, and just nails Sniper King, right, and takes him out. And then goes and's like, haha, you shouldn't turn your back on the big bad wolf. And I'm just thinking, fuck you, you little bitch. You know, that was a bitch-ass move. Here's a guy who's clearly stronger than somebody else, and seriously, you're still going to use shitty, cheap, underhanded tactics? Man, just burns my ass, I tell you. Anyway, we're taken away briefly from the action to go and see what happened in the aftermath of Chopper getting knocked in the water. Frankie did manage to save him, and as he pulls him to shore, he believes he's still alive and still breathing. He's obviously, you know, wounded and unconscious, but he's back to the Chopper we know, the cute little lovable Chopper, right? And then he goes and he winds up running into Chimney and Kokoro and them and whatnot, and they're like, hey, we can show you, because he's like, man, how am I going to get to the Gates of Justice, you know? And they're like, oh, we can show you the secret tunnel the same way that they showed Luffy, right? And he's like, well, what's going on? What's the deal? And you see the flashback of what transpired with the plan that him and Nami came up with, right? Nami wound up giving him the keys that she had, right, that were available. I think keys 3 and 4, or whatever the hell they were, 2 of the numbered keys. Obviously, we know 2's not it, because that was the one for Zoro and Sniper King's handcuffs. But anyway, so he goes and she says, listen, so you're going to go on ahead and see if you can get these keys to Robin or whatever, right? And to the Gates of Justice. You're going to go forward. And Frankie's like arguing with her. He's like, but if we do that, then how are we going to escape? The Buster call's been initiated, this and that. And she's like, listen, because he's like, the drawbridge is still only half down. We can't get back across, you know, to where we started from. She's like, we're not going to have time to retrace our steps anyway. The warships are about to start firing on here. The hour is near. It's the 11th hour, right? Okay, shit's about to go down. So basically what they agreed to is she's like, would you rather go back to where you know that there's death and destruction and people coming after us, or do you want to go forward to the unknown? And he's like, well, when you put it that way, forward to the unknown is good. So he leaves Chopper with Kokoro and says, listen, you guys go ahead and follow behind. I've got to go and get down this tunnel and see if I can't catch up with, you know, with Robin and whatnot and be able to help her in some way, shape, or form, having, of course, 2 out of the 4 remaining keys that could be for her handcuffs. So that's kind of what really perpetuated this whole last 10 or 20 chapters of different fights and everything, and that's fine. It's completely cool. I got no problems with it. So we go back to the situation that we got over here with Jabra, the cheap-ass freaking big bad wolf with the Fu Manchu that's attacking Sniper King, right? And he goes, and I mean, he's sitting there, and Sniper King goes and actually fires something. I mean, he uses his shave, you know, technique, disappears. He grabs him, and he's like, I promised you a quick death. And he's sitting there holding him, right? And he's about to just crush Usopp in his claws, you know? And Nami's like, it's cool, we don't need the key in this. And he's like, I'm coming for you next, right? And Zoro's still tangled up and entangled in his fight with Kaku, so pretty much all is lost, right? And we're thinking somebody is going to either get severely wounded or fucking die here, right? But right as he's about to go, oh, man. Oh, right as he's about to go and squeeze Sniper King's neck, all of a sudden out of nowhere, man, just comes out of nowhere, just whack, you know, and I do it with my fist because I'm not going to go and kick my foot up and possibly kick my desk. But we get this, right? We get this out of nowhere, and as soon as I saw this, I was thinking, oh, yeah, my boy Sanji, come to the rescue. You see in the next panel, and everybody is like, oh, shit, Nami, oh, shit. Everybody's looking, and all of a sudden, man, you just see, boom, you see old Sanji with that kind of just cool look to his feet, like, yeah, I just jacked you up, dude. I just jacked you up. And then we get this, man, and he's just like, Jobber, who are you? You know, and you picture him saying it like his little wolf voice, and he's just like, I'm the hunter. And I'm just, oh man, I'm looking at that shit. And Sanji just sitting there all cool. This got to be the coolest look that I have seen for Sanji so far. I just love that look for him, man. Absolutely awesome. Got the smoke hanging out of his mouth, and he's just like, I'm the hunter. And I'm just thinking, and it's so cool because obviously, like, you know, what does a hunter do? A hunter would hunt prey like a wolf, you know? And I just love that because Jabra tried to go and make it out to Sniper King like, yeah, you know, I'm the big bad wolf type of thing. You know, don't turn your back on me. And Sanji's just like, yeah, I just done kicked you in the face, and I'm gonna fuck you up now. So, oh, so good. Such a great way to end a chapter. My chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is ultimately, what were your thoughts on Sanji and his just kind of epic entrance into this whole thing? You know, I honestly just want to know what your thoughts and opinion is on that. I know that he disappears a lot for several chapters in many of these arcs. And in this case, it was pretty cool because he goes and he kind of gets his ass whooped by Khalifa, right? Because he wants to stick by his values and his morals, and I respect that, even though I get it. Like, hey, listen, dude, you know, sometimes you might have to break a vow or more because this woman that you care for, Nico Robin, is in danger of dying too. But I'm not getting into that argument right now. The point is that he got his ass whipped. And I had the golden bubbles, whatever, look like a porcelain doll, got tossed down the couple floors or whatever. And he's been down and out and gone for, I don't know, 5 chapters, 10 chapters, whatever. And just all of a sudden, man, out of nowhere to make that entrance right before Usopp or Sniper King or whatever was about to go and get killed by this thing, I thought that was great. Let me know what your thoughts are, though, on Sanji and his entrance in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to subscribe to my other channels and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.